Hi guys, welcome back to my class. I'm your Korean teacher, Emma from seemile. Can you recall what you learned last time? We learned about various ways to explain the purpose behind one's action or plans. Today's lesson will be about describing someone's ability to do something. Let's see what strengths and weaknesses Aram and her friends have. But before moving on, let's first preview the vocabulary we are going to cover during today's class. Repeat after me out loud as a memory aid. 무겁다, 들다, 고치다, 열쇠, 찾다, 피자, 운전, 정리정돈, 주차, 출근하다, 휴일, 졸리다. Alright, now let's get started. The first expression you're going to cover today is 을 수 있어요, 을 수 없어요. Watching the following video, please try to figure out when they are used.
아람이는 무거운 것도 들 수 있어요.
조는 사진을 잘 찍을 수 있어요.
카이는 컴퓨터를 고칠 수 없어요.
로하는 열쇠를 찾을 수 없었어요.
아람이는 무거운 것도 들 수 있어요. 무거운 것, something heavy, 도, even, 들 수 있어요. Can you guess what the speaker wants to say? Yes, that Aram can lift even heavy things. In other words, she has the ability and power to lift even heavy things. 카이는 컴퓨터를 고칠 수 없어요. Look at the picture. You can see some tools to repair a computer and Kai is sighing in front of them. It seems like things aren't going as Kai wants them to, for one reason or another. And we can say that those reasons are beyond Kai's ability to remedy. And to describe this situation, the speaker said, 카이는 컴퓨터를 고칠 수 없어요. That's right. Kai can't fix the computer. Basically, when 을 수 있다, 을 수 없다 are attached to a verb stem, they indicate the ability or inability to perform some task. So 을 수 있다 is like saying can, to be able to, and 을 수 없다 is like saying cannot, is not able to in English. As you may have already guessed, when the stem ends in a consonant other than 리을, 을 is attached. Otherwise, 리을 is attached before 수 있다, 없다. Another point you need to keep in mind about this expression is that at times it can be used to indicate the feasibility of something. And in that case, this expression also can be attached to an adjective stem. For example, if a speaker says, 히토미가 늦을 수 있어요. 늦다 is an adjective, but it obviously doesn't mean that Hitomi has the ability to be late since that wouldn't make sense, but rather that there's a possibility that Hitomi may be late. Now then, how would you say John can take good pictures? Yes, 조는 사진을 잘 찍을 수 있어요. How about this? Couldn't find. It is obviously about the past, so let's use the prefinal ending 엇. 없었어요. 로하는 열쇠를 찾을 수 없었어요. 내일 비가 올 수 있어요. In other words, there's no possibility that Aram likes blue. 아람이가 파란색을 좋아할 수 없어요. Just as an FYI, let me give you one more tip. You may remember the expression 지 못하다, which is also like saying can't in English. Then what's the difference between 지 못하다 and 을 수 없다? Well, you can use 을 수 없다 when the subject has the ability to do something, but he or she opts not to on purpose due to some extenuating factor. But you can't use 지 못하다 to indicate the same. For example, if you were to say 저는 지금 빨리 뛸 수 없어요, the listener would understand that you actually can run fast if you wanted to, but for some reason, like maybe because someone else doesn't want you to, you're not going to do it right now. But if you say 저는 지금 빨리 뛰지 못해요, then it just conveys the idea that you can't run fast right now, even though you might want to, due to a lack of ability to do so. Alright, now repeat after me out loud as a review. 아람이는 무거운 것도 들 수 있어요. 카이는 컴퓨터를 고칠 수 없어요. 조는 사진을 잘 찍을 수 있어요. 로하는 열쇠를 찾을 수 없었어요. 내일 비가 올 수 있어요. 아람이가 파란색을 좋아할 수 없어요. 히토미가 늦을 수 있어요. 저는 지금 빨리 뛸 수 없어요. 저는 지금 빨리 뛰지 못해요. The next expression is one that's used to indicate whether or not the subject knows how to do something. First, let's watch a video to see how it's used in a practical setting.
아람이는 피자를 만들 줄 알아요.
카이는 드럼을 칠 줄 알아요.
히토미는 운전할 줄 몰라요.
조는 라면을 끓일 줄 몰라요.
Well, 알다 means to know and 모르다 means to not know. 줄 here is a bound noun that represents the way to do something indicated in the preceding clause. That's why we need the help of the transformative ending 을, which allows a verb to be used as a modifier in sentences, such as in 을 줄 알아요, 을 줄 몰라요. Well, as I mentioned before, you don't have to memorize all this technical information. I just wanted you to know as an FYI. The only thing you need to remember is that 을 줄 알다 is like saying know how to, and 을 줄 모르다 is like saying don't know how to in English, and they can be attached to a verb stem. I'll skip the explanation of when to use 을 and when 리을 this time. Now, would you mind trying to say these sentences in Korean out loud? 아람이는 피자를 만들 줄 알아요. 히토미는 운전할 줄 몰라요. 카이는 드럼을 칠 줄 알아요. 조는 라면을 끓일 줄 몰라요. Good job! Then say these sentences out loud again, repeating after me as a review. 아람이는 피자를 만들 줄 알아요. 히토미는 운전할 줄 몰라요. 카이는 드럼을 칠 줄 알아요. 조는 라면을 끓일 줄 몰라요. Now, let's talk about how to say someone's good or poor at doing something. First, let's watch the following video and try to find out what's involved in saying this.
조는 설거지를 잘해요.
카이는 운전을 잘해요.
로하는 정리정돈을 잘 못해요.
아람이는 주차를 잘 못해요.
Do you remember how to say well in Korean? Yes, 잘. Then can you guess how to say somebody does something well? Yes, 잘하다. So 을을 잘하다 is like saying to be good or skilled at something. The antonym is 을을 잘 못하다, to be poor or unskilled at something. That's why in the video to explain that John washes the dishes well, the speaker said that 조는 설거지를 잘해요. And to tell us that 로한 isn't good at organizing things, 로하는 정리정돈을 잘 못해요. One thing to be careful about when using this expression is that, especially when you write 잘 못해요, referring to somebody's skills, make sure that you leave a space between 잘 and 못해요, because if there's no space there, it would be like saying 잘 못해요, which means to make an error. Both 잘 못해요 and 잘 못해요 sound the same, so while listening, you need to distinguish if it's 잘 못해요 or 잘 못해요 through the context. Then now, how would you say these sentences in Korean? 카이는 운전을 잘해요. 아람이는 주차를 잘 못해요. Good job. Then now repeat after me out loud. 조는 설거지를 잘해요. 로하는 정리정돈을 잘 못해요. 카이는 운전을 잘해요. 아람이는 주차를 잘 못해요. The last expression we are going to cover today isn't something new to you. First, let's watch the related video and talk about it more.
아람이는 아침에 출근하기가 싫었어요.
로아는 휴일에 청소하기가 싫었어요.
히토미는 바람 때문에 걷기가 힘들어요.
조는 졸려서 책을 읽기가 힘들었어요.
Do you remember the transformative ending key? You learned in lesson 27 that it's used to help verbs act as nouns. You also learned that it is usually used to describe the thing mentioned in the preceding words, so it's usually followed by expressions such as something something가 쉽다, 어렵다, 힘들다, 즐겁다, 좋다, 싫다. Now, you guys can tell me when to use 기가 싫어요, 기가 힘들어요, right? Yes, to express what the subject is unwilling to do or something that's hard for him or her to do. I'm sure you know how to say these sentences in Korean without any assistance on my part. So please pause the video for a moment, try it by yourself first, and then replay the video to check my answers. 아람이는 아침에 출근하기가 싫었어요. 로하는 휴일에 청소하기가 싫었어요. 히토미는 바람 때문에 걷기가 힘들어요. 조는 졸려서 책을 읽기가 힘들었어요. Good job, guys. Now let's say them out loud one more time as a review. 아람이는 아침에 출근하기가 싫었어요. 로하는 휴일에 청소하기가 싫었어요. 히토미는 바람 때문에 걷기가 힘들어요. 조는 졸려서 책을 읽기가 힘들었어요. Now it's time to turn to page 241 and solve the questions there. Number 1. Choose the right picture. 로하는 열쇠를 찾을 수 없었어요. 찾을 수 없었어요. Couldn't find 열쇠를, his key. So picture number 4 best describes the sentence. Next, 카이는 운전을 잘해요. 카이는 잘해요. Kai does something well. 운전을, driving. Kai is good at driving. You can see Kai is driving the red car and Hitomi's thumb is up in this picture, so picture number 4 would be the answer. Now question number 2. Complete the sentence, choose from the list. Number 1. 조는 설거지를. The other expressions in the list should be used with a verb stem, but 잘해요 and 잘 못해요 can be added after the object of a sentence, like 설거지를 here. If you say 조는 설거지를 잘해요, then it would mean that John is good at doing dishes. But to indicate the opposite, you can say 조는 설거지를 잘 못해요. Number 2. 아람이는 주차를. There's no verb here, so again, 잘해요, 잘 못해요, both can be the answer. 아람이는 주차를 잘해요. Aram is good at parking. 아람이는 주차를 잘 못해요. Aram is poor at parking. From numbers 3 to 8, the words in the parentheses are all verbs, which means that all the expressions in the list except for 잘해요, 잘 못해요 can be used to fill in the blanks. So I'll just use my imagination about the situations in each sentence. So number 3, how would you say Aram can lift even heavy things? 아람이는 무거운 것도 들 수 있어요. Number 4, 로한 doesn't want to clean on his days off. 로하는 휴일에 청소하기가 싫어요. Number 5. Kai doesn't know how to fix a computer. 카이는 컴퓨터를 고칠 줄 몰라요. Number 6. 아람 can't make pizza now for some reason. 아람이는 피자를 만들 수 없어요. Number 7. Kai knows how to play the drums. 카이는 드럼을 칠 줄 알아요. Number 8. John feels hard to read a book as he feels drowsy. 존은 졸려서 책을 읽기가 힘들어요. Good job! Now let me share with you what I think I'm good and poor at. 저는 피아노를 칠 줄 알아요. 어려운 곡도 칠 수 있어요. 이웃에게 피해를 주기가 싫기 때문에 밤에는 피아노를 칠 수 없어요. 드럼은 칠 줄 몰라요. 노래도 잘 못해요. 음악을 듣거나 악기를 연주하는 것만 좋아해요. What about you? Please tell us what your specialty is and also about what you don't know how to do or what you're not good at. Please feel free to use a dictionary when needed and use the expressions we learned today as many times as possible. If you're worried about your accuracy, please leave your stories below in the comment section. Excellent! Now you can express what you can or cannot do, whether you know or don't know how to do something, and also what you're good or not good at. Then what are we going to learn during our next class? We will address useful expressions that can be used when sharing our past experiences. We'll also learn how to describe gradual changes taking place in certain situations, like someone's face gradually turning red or the weather gradually becoming cloudy. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time. Bye!